Alright, peeps. I probably got some background gameplay in the background. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know yet. But that's gonna be my Minecraft stuff, so you might be seeing that shit right now. And that is on my gaming channel, Boss DK of Gaming, and I'm trying to make, some Minecraft videos on there. I'm also not opposed to making some Brawlhalla videos, but y'all gotta give me some ideas on that, because, I'm not the best at the game, but I'm also not the worst neither, so give me some ideas. Also, that's pretty much it. And if y'all got any, suggestions for what I could do on Minecraft and also Brawlhalla, let a nigga know some. But besides that, let's get to it. Alright, so we're gonna do part 2 to what if Deku was immortal. We're gonna sum it up for you for the most part. Deku discovered his quirk. He was kind of like a little emo, not emo type beat. Beforehand, he did a lot of training. He did a lot of stuff, but when he killed himself, originally, all of his attributes, came forth. But ended up meeting, we're just gonna say the doctor. It's kind of like this weird older sister, mom kind of like relationship. Long story short, he your boy Deku basically got dragged to a party. And she kind of like, yeah, you coming with me. So he's seeing all these sophisticated peoples and all this shit, and he's like, damn. And the doc, she kind of didn't inherently teach him how to fight, but he has a lot higher resistance to pain. She helped boost his physical capabilities, minorly using drugs and just throwing some quality hands. She knows how to fight, okay, and she's pretty efficient when it comes to throwing hands and doing some shit, okay. Also, we have it to where your boy Deku knows how to throw hands, because even during his earlier years, he was throwing some quality hands, and he did a lot of training. And he remember when we were talking about how he was getting beat up by people that knew martial arts, but they didn't know it to be like something special, but they knew just enough for Deku to get drops kicked by them. Yeah, he took that and ran with it on top of what he learned and tried to practice. So it's almost like he's got like a stockpiling quirk, no one for all type beat though, where it's like he'll do a whole bunch of stuff. So when you work out normal, you work out, you tear your muscles fibers, and then you need a rest for a couple of days, and then those muscles come back stronger, right? For Deku, that doesn't happen. He works out, and it's almost like he has like this midline of endurance where it's like he's never tired, but he's never at full energy. This is after he expends a good amount of energy. He's like at that clean middle zone, right? Where he's not inherently too tired or not. But let's say he does 100 push-ups. He could do push-ups in theory, if definitely, kind of like an android. But once he actually dies, all of that XP goes right to whatever he was working for. So in theory, he could basically make himself really strong in a short period of time, but not really. It still takes some time, but it just doesn't take nearly as much time. So maybe we could say he cuts the time down from half of it, or 3 times faster, 2 times, 3 times faster, however you want to word it. Now let's get into the party. So everybody's up at the party. They're doing their thing. Everybody having a good old time. Everything's going. Deku's just crying. He's like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. I don't want to live here. And he's upset. The doc's going around getting information. We don't have much information on the doc, though. So we don't know what she's up to, what she's doing, why she is. All we know is that she helped Deku. And this is during that time period when the show just started, and a good little bit before the USJ 9-month training arc time period, right? So they got time, and the party is going, everyone's having a good time, and I swear I've made this part before. But anyways, so what ended up happening, right, is all you hear is, everyone, get down on the ground now. Deku, like, what the fuck is going on over there? So he's like, what? And so, long story short, everybody's like got their hands up, and he's like, "Everybody, stay down now, and we're gonna make this simple." Blah blah blah. All these people getting kind of like coerced, and everybody's in like a small confined area. And he's like, "Nobody try to be a hero. Get any ideas. None of y'all are All Might. Y'all got that." And so he's talking mad shit, bucking up and everything, blah blah blah. It's a good handful of different people doing this, right? And then Ingenium, older brother, Ingenium, Ida's older brother pulls through, and he was like, "All right, we'll give you whatever you want. Just hey, don't get any ideas." And then like he's like, "Hey, stop moving. No, like here, listen to me." He let it go. Deku, like he's kind of got like that look like the thumbnail of the first part, which I'll probably have it for the second part too. So he's kind of got that persona. He's like, "Well, that's my cue," and he gets like in front of the dude and just blocks all the bullets. But like he tenses up his body so the bullets don't go through him, right? And he's also just in a way so even if they did, it won't hit a Jimmy. He's like, yeah. Come on. Deku slumped down, out on the ground. You know, people are screaming, ah! You know that anime dramatic ass screaming that they do on that bullshit for real. You feel me? And so that shit happens. And Genuine's like, perhaps I was foolish. And he's like, I gotta stay calm. And he's looking at, Ida. And, so as this is happening, they're like, put the money in the bag on some SpongeBob. Put the money in the jewelry, put it all in the bag, and no one, if y'all keep acting up, y'all gonna end like, damn, Dyslexia, y'all gonna end up like this dude here on the floor. And as Deku gets up, he like flexes and the bullets come out of his body. Or we could just say he spits them out. All right, there we go. Looks like the time, as much as I hate that lady, it seems like it did have some payoff. My revival time is about that 10-5 second mark if I'm lucky. And then I'm pretty sure I can isolate the healing depending on the area. Nice. All right, cool. He proceeds to start doing that Goku-like stretch like when he was a kid and a teenager. Hell, I think he did it when he was older too. Just hitting that hoe. And then he cracks his neck a little bit. Okay. Yep, there we go. I knew it was a good idea to do some workouts for about 10 hours straight. I feel accelerated. And then they're like, everyone's like, what the fuck? We saw him die. He looks up and he's like, I probably should kill y'all. He exhales. Vapor comes from his mouth. He takes a stance reminiscent to kind of like how Bakugo would, but like more down lower with both hands out. And he's just like, new technique, death of Reaper. The second he says that, you just see like this embodiment of a Reaper, and then like he's in front of one of the dudes and he just slashes. And then he proceeds to like start kicking and beating up on pretty much some of the other people. And like in like a brief instant, it looks like the Grim Reaper flew around everybody. And just, they're all knocked down or, in bad condition. And he also broke some of their bones so they wouldn't get back up. And then Ida's talking shit. That was very reckless. Using your quirk like that. Using my quirk like what? My quirk is immortality. He cracks his neck again. My quirk happens regardless if I wanted to or not, my boy. What are you talking about? I am immortal. He's like, you know what? Reaper. You just see like an imagery of a Reaper floating over him. Reaper energy. And just post that dude, knocks him out. Way too uptight. And then Ida's older brother is like, wait, so what is this Reaper you keep saying of? Well, you might be able to see, you might not, but simply put, since I'm always constantly in the in-between of life and death, because I can technically die, but I'm immortal, me and the Reaper became kind of cool, and he let me borrow his abilities and powers and stuff. Like, I can't use them to, like, a high degree, but I can use them pretty well. So, I also have some death abilities, but anyways, there's more people. And he's like, he's like, how fast can you move? And he's like, what do you mean? How fast can you move? And he's like, well, I can move pretty fast, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, all right, cool. Deku walks out. He claps his hands together. Takes a deep breath in. Exhales. And starts chanting black ice. But after, the chants are like saying, move, dark magic, life expanding, freeze. And he's like, and it's like a power, and he's like, it's basically like a pillar of ice. My brain died. I was trying to speak. It's like a pillar of ice. He pushes the ice out. And then he's like, all right, it's pretty massive, okay? It's not like a tiny little Titan pillar. No, it's a pretty massive pillar. And it's pretty thick, too. So they start getting people on there. And Deku just starts chucking people. And it's all on the line side of the boat. So, like, they all could just jump down if they wanted to. And then he's telling some of the people, don't worry, y'all are able to jump down if y'all need to. As he's walking or whatever, he's like, I'm going to go make sure that everyone else is okay. Plus, I got to check up on something. And, Ida's older brother is carrying Ida at this point. He's like, wait, are you sure you don't need help? Deku's like, I've heard of you, I think. If I recall, you're the Ingeniums. He goes over the whole, like, bloodline and this and that, right? And he's like, yeah, how did you know? Well, I was a different person then, cracking his nails. But I think I got it. Plus, if something does go bad, I can't die, remember? And he's like, right. He still didn't really believe it, but he just thought he had a really strong regeneration quirk. Because he hasn't seen no one would have such a strong quirk to where they're immortal. Like, come on. And so, now, we would get into when Deku goes around, he's checking out the boat, he's looking around and stuff, and, everything's all good. He might see a few people there, but the few people he do see, he's like, you know what, hold on, let me actually take advantage of this cracks. And he, he begins to power up a little bit. He starts cracking open the boat, just left and right. He starts throwing, some of the civilians that are still in there while also taking out the people that are trying to do this. This is where things get spicy. He eventually starts making his way all the way to the, center of the boat. He sees his, teacher / person, her head's cut off. And he's like, damn. Well, she's dead. Okay. Thought you would have lived a little bit longer. Anyways, and Deku looks, sees 3 people. He sees the boss, he sees the dude with a katana, and he also sees the dude with a gun. He's like, okay. Sword dude, pretty strong. Gun dude, you got some weird quirk that involves guns, and you're really strong for no justified reason. Everyone looks at each other. Yeah, about right. Okay, cool. And let me guess, one of the richest families on here, you're demanding them to give you an escape helicopter, rents, money, all this stuff. Yeah. She tried to stop y'all or say some weird stuff. You killed her? And this one is 100% breaking the fourth wall. And he's like, let me guess, you're Momo? I'm going to meet you in my next class. It's just some shit like that. But for real, anyways, the girl that the leader got is Momo and her family. So what happened is they was like, okay. Okay. Also, Deku learned how to use life magic, which it's one of those higher skills magic. It's something the Reaper told him. It's not like he just woke up with it. It's basically, since he's constantly on that void of death and life, he's gotten a lot more information. It's almost like being in deathened instead of enlightened, or in darkened, if you may. It's kind of like that. So instead of like there's spells and stuff that you can use to do magical things, but at the cost of your life expectancy, your lifespan, right? But have you ever wondered what would happen if an immortal did these things? Yeah, so exactly. So Deku has abilities of that nature. It's not something prevalent, but it's something to give him something a little more tangent besides just I don't die. Kind of get what I'm saying? Anyways, so he's like, all right, cool beans. I don't got time to play around. He grabs it. He grabs the doc and just kind of like gently puts her body together. Also, earlier he did get cut when he was taking care of the lower life forms. Some of the blood trickled down onto the headless master of his. So, and he puts her body over there and is like, just keep that over there. It doesn't matter where you do with it when y'all are out of here. And the dude starts laughing at us. He's like, the dude with the sword pulls up behind him. Get out of where? He just turns around without even looking. He just has his hand cupped back and just sticks it right through his head. And just flexes. He's dead. Yep, Grim Reaper blade. And then like before anyone else could realize it, he just swipes the air. And their souls are just detached. And he's just like captured. And like he just sucks those souls in. Don't ask where they went. They just gone for now. Foreshadowing. So he grabs Momo by the noggin and he's like, come on. And yeah. So he's like, that should take care. I should have taken care of everybody. He opens up a little portal. He throws them out. He's like, all right. And then Momo like sees this and he's like, I'll be right there, Momo. He gets shot. You can't be serious. He turns back around and he's like, he looks over. And the first person he killed, his quirk was gun and hair, but it wasn't. He liked guns. But the main thing that was the issue was the gun is a special item. And how his quirk works is it allows him to stay alive for an extended period of time. Basically, it's like if this item, as long as this item isn't destroyed, he's able to stay alive or come back. But it only works in like intervals, so he can't just spam the ability. So it's like his trump card, if you may. And what he used this trump card for was to shoot this dude with some darts, and he's gonna go sleepy. He's like, man, you piece of shit. I should have just boom, boom. Like half the ship is gone, and it's like a gigantic ship. It's not like that Black Ops 2 map where it's a tiny little poop. No. It's one of those big body ones. So he just blows that port of the ship away, killing everything that was right there. And as he's hanging off on, not like hanging off, but sitting off on the other half, he's like, man, because he already know he's going to go to sleep. And he's like, damn, that's crazy. It might take me a minute to get away from the bottom of the ocean. It kind of. And like as this is happening, Momo's like, thank you. And she like even tried to make a rope or whatever for him. Boy, he was about to go for it, but then somebody came and tackled him. It was one of the other subordinates that he must have missed because it's a big ass ship. And let's just say the dude's pretty strong, so he couldn't get to it. So he like ripped Deku's arm off. He's like, ouch. It hurt, don't get him wrong, but due to what the doc was doing to your boy, she was like, she basically helped nerf his pain receptors to the point where he doesn't feel it, since he's regenerating recklessly anyways. You don't want to be passing out because your arm got ripped off, like some basic shit like that, right? So anyways, that shit happens. Deku's stuck on the boat. He fighting man with one arm, and he just like he takes one of those good fighting stances on some future Gohan type beat, you feel me? Okay. So now they throwing some quality hand, beat, good kicks, weave. Dude, homie was putting up a good fight, but Deku's like, I'm done playing. And he takes a stance and he's like, Death Claw. And all this is, it's kind of like that. When he does the death until I say otherwise, it's more of like a personification of something versus actually being tangible. So he starts throwing these like lethal hands, boom, 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 and basically knocks Brody out, but he's starting to get tired. Feel me? He could have took Brody out a lot sooner, but like I don't want to make him like too big body strong, but I'm also trying to give him somewhat a little more oomph to it. So he does that. Then he heads out. He's like, all right, I gotta get out of here. Some of the other troops that, some of the other lackeys start blowing up. They getting off the boat and stuff. They blowing the boat up. Beep, 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 beep. Deku's just like, damn, he hear people crying and stuff. So he's like, man, this is that bullshit for real. So he started running, grabbing these motherfuckers for real. He tossing these niggas, right? Because like the ice, he can make it instantly. It don't really matter. But like there's a part of it, like let's say the beginning part. The ice keeps going out, and it's like self-powering in this way it is. And the reason he asked how fast his homeboy is, he just had a lurking feeling that if he, passes out, that shit might not work. So he need to be able, Jenny need to be able to do some like high speed running, push past his limit on some shit, run to the rest of the surface, drop these people off, jump on back and forth and stuff like that. So while all this is happening, Momo's also trying to be productive because she knows basically he might be dead because she didn't, see the nigga do his immortal shit. So she's trying to give everybody rope and stuff like this and trying to make some way for them to climb. So Ingenium and Momo are sitting there pushing past their limit, plus Ultra on some shit, trying to make sure everybody get out of here. Like, I plan to be a hero, and Ingenium's like, damn, you got a bright future, but we can talk about that later. Let's take care of this business. Let's make sure his sacrifice isn't in vain. In the sense of, because they both still technically think he's not really immortal. So they doing this shit. They putting in mad work, right? And as this is happening, your boy Deku's struggling. He's just throwing people. He's telling them as he's throwing them, he only got one arm, so he's throwing them, kicking them and everything. Some kids, some not. And he's like, make sure y'all keep running. I don't know how long that technique's gonna last because he hasn't really trained certain shit. Like there's certain stuff he was training, but he was training more his physicality and his combat powers. So he's like, y'all need to keep going. He's throwing them as far as he can and kicking them as far as he can, without damaging them, obviously. And then he's like, life surge. And he's like, all right, cool, that's everybody. As blood is leaking from one of his arms, as the medicine's starting to take effect, he's like, and as all the explosions are going off in the, area and stuff like that, he's just like, shit. I'm getting kind of tired. As he's slowly walking out, blood everywhere, just dragging his feet, looks out, sees everybody already. He can see really far, and he sees how everyone's putting the stuff. He's like, oh God, okay. Yeah. And then he just passes out. And then the scene would fade to black. And that's where we would end the video off. All right, cool. Catch y'all later. Now, we all know that there's more to the video. I almost want to just troll and be like, JK, LOL. Nah, but basically, I think that would be a fair point to leave her off. What do y'all think? Anyways, but for real though, scenes fade to black, and you just see the shit blows up. And Genium and Momo are like, damn, we won't forget his, sacrifice and all that shit. The doctor gets up like, popping her neck and shit, and she just ooh, all right, yeah. So that's why that nigga be like that. Damn, I'd be morbid too if I was that nigga. Yeah. And she starts smacking her lips. Yeah, that's his blood, all right. Okay. Popping some moans and shit. And then she's like, yeah. Nah. Huh. I mean, I was gonna come back regardless. All I had to do was sew my head back on, but I guess that works too. So his blood has healing properties. Interesting. And she starts mumbling and stuff. Just so if I use the blood, and I might be able to make cures. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Adding that variable and that factor. Okay. Nice. Momo is very shocked, and her family is too. It's like, your head was dislocated. Like, not touching. And then it's like, yeah, that's a minor issue. That's a minor issue. Anyways, where's that green-headed boy with the emo look? Everybody like she gave a very generic description of him, and everyone was like, they point to the fire on the boat, and it was like, yeah, that's kind of a severe explosion. It's probably gonna take a minute for him to come back, but I wonder. She starts thinking, I'll save that for a future episode. And basically her face goes red, and she's like on like that sadistic type beat. That would be such an interesting outcome. And she proceeds to walk away. And everyone's like, is that like his mom or something? Or what that? Everyone looks like I don't know. But anyways, we probably should help these people out. And so they proceed to help the people out. And meanwhile, this is where we're actually getting ready to end her off at. Deku's just, he wakes up and he's in the void. He's like, fucking shit. Him looking. Oh, come on, y'all couldn't give me my arm this time. Fucking shit. And so he's just like looking. His arm's not bleeding anymore. He just doesn't got it. And he's like, okay. And so he just sees like a Reaper flying around, collecting souls and coming back and like dropping them off. And it's like this. It's like you can see the outline of stuff, but at the same time you can. Deku's like, what's up with it? Terry, is that you? Or are you Mark? No, bro, it's Bill. Oh, shit, what's up with it, dog? I haven't seen you since last time, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, right. Hey, bro, I'm running kind of low on souls, dog, and I'm not going to meet my quota. Like, do you think you can help me out? What's in it for me, my boy? Come on, man. You know I can't help y'all for free, skis. Like, what's good? Like, what you got? He's like, all right, bro. I could teach you how to materialize Scythe. And it was like, why would I want that? What would I gain? Think about it. You out there, you're doing your thing. Okay. And you don't want to kill them, but like at the same time, you need to fight back because you're not worried about time. Because like you that guy, but you might want to fight them off. Plus, if you don't know how to use a scythe and you have a weapon at all time, you know. It's just beneficial. Plus, you could change the weapon, make it a spear, take the pointy thing off, use it as a bow staff. Like it's many uses. Plus, if you wanted to, you might be able to combine it with some other stuff. And it's like, okay, all right, cool. He goes into like this like duffel bag that materializes as like he pulls it out, and he pulls out 3 souls. Here, bro. There you go. He's like, oh. I was trying to get 10. 10? Oh, so what was you doing then, my boy? You must have just been out here just fucking around. You was talking to Scarlet, wasn't you? Bro, shut up. Don't say that shit so loudly, man. Okay. So the scythe is about 3. You still 7 down. You need to talk to me. What you got? What you? Necromancy. Huh? What was that? Necromancy, man. What's that? I don't know what that is. You gotta have to explain to me what I'm getting myself into. Basically, man, you're able to bring the dead back to life temporarily or something like that. I don't know much about it, but I can at least give you the information to find more about it. Oh, okay. I'll give you 25 souls for that. You should have started with that shit off in the first place. Thank you so much. Nigga, if you don't give me my payment, I will kill you. As he says, there's a whole bunch of energy and pressure releases from Deku. And he's like, yeah, I know. Don't worry. And so dude's like, all right, I'll be expecting to have that knowledge to me the second I get back. The second, not later. And so he has that love moment. And then Deku basically goes off somewhere else just walking. It's like it's the void, but it's not at the same time. Like there's life still there, if that makes any sense. So when Deku sits down and just starts meditating and he's like concentrating and like, you know, using a lot of his prana and energy, just and he's just like concentrating and he's focusing on his dark energy, not dark energy per se, but focusing on that energy that is there. I could say like the necromancing, the Grim Reaper energy. It doesn't really matter, but it's just the energy he's getting from this particular place. So he's using that, powering himself up and just keeping his mind calm and steady, because technically dying this many times can have a bad negative side effect on you. But he's constantly, you know, keeping that in control. And then as he's finishing his meditation and, you know, he's like, because time flows differently for those that are in this realm. So time's a little different for your boy Deku. And so after he does that, he's like, all right, I probably should do some light training to get accustomed to it. It's almost like he's in the room of spirit and time. So he beat, good hands. He's fighting with himself, really, and maybe a few shadows that come out every once in a while. But then he's immediately transported to and he looks, he's angry. He's like, the training was halfway good. But basically, he gets like transported. He's in a room. He's in the shower. Then after being there for brief enough time, getting hit, you know, hosed down with a whole bunch of water and soap and all sorts of stuff, he's immediately in like some, you know, Japanese kind of like night clothes of sort, like anime type beat. So when that happens, right, he plops it down and he's just like, hello, Death. And you see the outline of this like long-haired, beautiful, majestic lady, and then you just see a lolly. Izuku, what are you doing here again? It's like, I told you not to call me that. Call me Emma. I'm gonna probably look up the immortal name or immortal way to say in Japanese. I said that so dyslexic, but I'm gonna do that later. Probably not. I don't think anyone's gonna really fuck with this part. Anyways, so it's a lolly basically, like, but she's like teen lolly, I guess. I don't know. And so she's just like, what are you doing back here? And Deku's like, I still don't get why you look like that. Look like what? You know what I mean. You look like a child. Say that again as like energy and aura starts flowing. Deku gets up himself, so they're basically forehead to forehead. Say what? You look like a child. I'm saying you look like one. You're probably older than me, to be honest. I don't get why you choose that appearance out of all. Wouldn't it be more smarter to do like a mature lady or something? And Death is just like, nah. I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. And she's like, what do you mean? Think about it. What death affects who the most? Elderly and stuff like that. People that are sick. Wrong. Think about it, really. Elderly don't be affected by death because they've lived a whole life. The thing that dies and has death the most are the infants, the childs. Think about it. A mom that has a kid that she doesn't want no more. Or has the baby anyways after the 9 months and going through all the suffering. The kid grows to be about 5, 6, maybe 7, dies. A kid runs out in front of a moving truck. Or as some of these people say, truck coon. Simple. Kids. Infants. Things that have not had enough time or luckiness to mature. Those are the things that death surrounds itself by. You're going to be leaving here in a moment. When life talks to you, see what she has to say about the subject. We can always talk about it later. He's like, wait, then what did you bring me here for? She said, she touches him on her chest. I just wanted to see, would you be a worthy candidate to be my future husband? Surrounded by flowers, and he's like, God, son of a... He just starts crying a little bit, but not like really crying, and he's just looking around. Death, that's not life. Well, that's you, isn't it? Yep. Why are you in the lolly worm? Are you copying death? No, my outfit's white, but you have the same design, but your hair is white, blonde. Okay. And then it's just like, transforms into like, I don't know. Y'all can decide what it transforms into. I don't have a point of reference. So death transforms into XX comment of whatever someone says. It could be a boy or girl. It doesn't matter. Not death, life. So just comment down below what life transformation looks like or personification is, because it's technically just energy and some other shit, but we'll worry about that later. Anyways, he's like, so wait, I got something I want to ask you. So it's simple. It's and everything starts getting fuzzy. He's like, oh, I'm reviving again. Nice. Well, I guess I'll ask y'all later. And that's where we would end this part off. By the way, I don't have the name memorized, so I might add it at the end or voice over it or something. But this video was for the homie G that asked for part 2 to this. If y'all want a continuation, leave that down in below. And also, if you need some other what ifs to be continued, leave that down below too. I don't get no feedback on these stuff, so help your boy out.